Not very impressive at all. He's had the luxury.
Not?
No, because he's had the luxury of playing in the worst division in football in his tenure in New England. Now, let's take a look at the teams that's in that division. The Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. The Jets, over the time frame in which Brady played 20 seasons, had the 21st best record in the NFL. There's only 32 teams. The Miami Dolphins had the 23rd best record in the NFL over that time frame. The Buffalo Bills had the 26th best record in that time frame. Mind you, again, people at home, there are only 32 teams. Now, there are 10, those teams, 3 teams, combined for 10 winning seasons. The Jets had 5, the Dolphins had 4. One of the Dolphins' winning seasons came when Brady was hurt in 2008. The Buffalo Bills had 1 winning season. That was last year. And in those era, the Bills and the Dolphins has not won a playoff game. But you want me to be impressed with that. Now, mind you now, remember, these 3 teams, Buffalo, the Dolphins, and the Jets, that's only 2 times they're supposed to see the Patriots. What happened to the other 14 games? So, okay, I'm going to disregard that. Brady beating you up. You a good team, Brady beating you up. No shame in Brady beating you. So why are you winning more games than that? Because you're only seeing Brady twice a year. What about those other 14 games? Which tells me those teams weren't very good. Brady was in a terrible division. Over the 20 years, if you stretch it out, he's had the best defense in 2 decades. Now, granted, there have been years when the Baltimore Ravens had better defenses, or Tampa had better defenses, or the Seattle Seahawks. But I'm saying, Skip, over 20 years, nobody can touch these guys. So, Skip, he's won a bunch of games. But come on now, let's be real. Look at the quarterbacks that's in that division, was in that division. Can you remember anybody that played at Buffalo? No, not really. What about the Dolphins? No, not really. The Jets, really? It's franchise. That's what you want. You want me to do cartwheels about franchise. And now you're going up against a young guy in Sam Darnold. So stop this. We see what happens when you get to a real division. He already decided, already on the verge. Something that never happened, he's on the verge of that happening right now, Skip Bayless. So stop playing. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, they stay in the AFC East because it used to, AFC East. You believe that if he stays in that same division with Peyton Manning, with those great teams they had, that some of those years they probably wouldn't have got swept? Or they play in another division? Come on, Skip. Stop. Kudos. Tom Brady, go. You want to say go, great quarterback? Fine. I ain't going to debate that. But this is not an impressive feat, considering who he did against. Now, if he's in a division with Seattle, or he's in a division with the Packers, or somebody that have another great quarterback, Skip, you got me. You mean to tell me another Hall of Fame quarterback couldn't beat Tom Brady twice in the same season? I give you that. But with these guys, nah, you don't get no credit for that one.
So what I see here is this is yet another underrated career achievement by the GOAT.
A longevity award.
Yeah. This isn't longevity. This is just career achievement, because I'm seeing something completely different than you just described. Because let's look at the Jets, shall we?
Yes.
In Tom Brady's time in New England. The 04 Jets, Herman Edwards' team, went 10-6 and had a top 5 defense. 2009, Rex Ryan had the #1 defense in pro football. 2010, they were 3rd in points allowed, the Rex Ryan team. And both those teams, with Sanchez at quarterback, got all the way 1 step short of a Super Bowl because they played in back-to-back AFC championship games, mostly because of the Revis-Cromartie defenses under the great Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator. 2015 with Todd Bowles as the coach, they went 10-6 and they had a top 5 defense. So that's 4 times 8 games against the Jets. They had top 5 defenses that he had to play against twice.
Well, what you have to do to be Tom Brady, Skip, you need somebody on the opposite side. What about the quarterbacks? You won't mention the quarterback. So who was Todd Bowles' quarterback?
Well, I just told you the success of those teams. The Herm team went 10-6. Rex and Rex back-to-back to the AFC Championship game, and 10-6 under Todd Bowles in 2015. So somehow they were pretty good. And now let's move to the Bills, shall we? Nobody cares about the Bills, but would you believe that in 03, 04, 2014, and 2019, the Bills had top 5 defenses? Then let's move to the Dolphins, shall we? In 02, 03, remember, Tom's been playing a long time. 02, 03, and 06, they had top 5 defenses. Why was that? because they had this guy flying off the edge named Jason Taylor. Remember that guy? I think he's related to Joy Taylor, who happens to be alongside Colin on the show that follows our show.
Yes.
And Jason Taylor, thanks to an endorsement by Tom Brady, is now alongside you in the Hall of Fame. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so Tom Brady had to deal with 3 top 5 defenses featuring Jason Taylor early in his career. So that's 11 seasons of 22 games against top 5 defenses in his division.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness is right. And guess what? Not one time did he ever get swept. That is outrageously great, and you give him no credit.
Skip, even when you're playing against Tom Brady, what must the other team have on the other side? A competent quarterback. You didn't tell me who Buffalo's quarterback was. You won't tell me who Miami's quarterback was. You won't tell me who Herman was who his quarterback was. And then you had the nerve to say Mark Sanchez. That's what you said.
He got to the AFC Championship game twice as a rookie and a second-year player.
All you got to do.
Back to back.
This is what I want you to do at home, people. Go type in butt fumble and see what pops up. That's the guy Skip Bayless is trying to tell me should have swept Tom Brady.
Go type in Revis and Cromartie and see what comes up.
Skip.
See, look at that. In 2009, they were the #1 defense in pro football, and Brady did not get swept. He lost a game to them, but he did not get swept.
Skip, in order to beat Brady, yes, you need a defense, but you're going to have to score points. That's why Mahomes was able to beat him last year. And it goes nip and tuck because Mahomes can match him point for point. You look at Nick Foles, what he did. Skip, Tom Brady had 505. But if Nick Foles does not do what he does with 373 and 3 touchdowns, they lose.
Okay.
So you got to have confidence on the offensive side to compete with that guy.
Just don't give me that it was a 20-year cakewalk in that division for him, because it was not. Those are hard games.
I've seen teams have historically good defenses and teams be trashed because their offense can't move the ball. All I'm saying, out of 32 teams, the Jets had the 21st best record, the Dolphins the 23rd, and the Bills the 26th. And you give me 4-year span for the Bills. You give me a 2-year span for the Bills, 4 years for the Dolphins, and 4 years for the Jets. Really, Skip?
The Bills 03-04, 14-19, top 5 defenses.
Skip.
Well, what happened in Baltimore in 2000?
Yes.
They had a trash offense, right?
Yes.
Not you, but the rest was trash,
we weren't very good. We just had to not mess it up for the defense.
Okay.
We did our part. But Skip, you look, and Ozzie broke it up because he didn't believe you could win long term being so dominant on one side and not being able to be competent consistently on the other side. So you had to get some consistency. You don't have to be, and the Ravens has never had, like, you will never see another defense like that, or the 85 Bears, because they don't let you play defense like that, Skip. But you got to get some consistency, some consistent play at the quarterback position. And that's what Skip, not one guy. How many guys have gone to the Pro Bowl out of that division other than Brady?
You're talking about quarterback.
Yes.
Well, I'm just talking about he doesn't play against the other quarterback. He plays against the defense.
Actually, he does. Because if you cannot put points on the board, you can't beat him. That's what you have to do. So I know they're not on the field at the same time, but Tom Brady knows when he was going against Peyton, he's got to score. He knows he's going to get my homeboy. He knows he has to score. You're going against Drew Brees, you've got to score. He knows that. You know that. Skip, look.
The Jets even did a number on him in New England in a playoff game. How did that happen? That was Mark Sanchez. How did that happen? They beat them in a playoff game in Foxborough.
Skip, 20 years is unbelievable run for him to have that level of consistency. I say 20 years because this is basically, he didn't start his rookie year, so now his 21st season, but this is 20. The 20-year run that he's had has been remarkable. Skip, I'm not trying to poo-poo that. But let's not pretend that the teams in that division have been historically good in the 2000s, because they haven't. The Bills have only been to the Bills have 1 winning record. That was last year. They've only been to the playoffs twice. The Jets have only been to the playoffs, 4 times in 20 years? And the Patriots go every year. Except the year he got hurt, and we beat them in 2002, so they didn't go. That was the last, I think they finished 8-8. So other than that, Skip, so they had 18 years of prosperity. The Bills had 2. The Jets had 4. And Miami ain't no telling.
So now that brings us to the present and your contention that he's on the brink of getting swept now. Why is that? I called this from the start in the offseason. I told you as soon as I saw the schedule, that's unfair. They were set up to fail in the opener. As Jenny said, Tom's been on fire of late. Yeah, well, he got thrown into the fire at New Orleans in the opening game. It was almost like it's rigged to lose that game. Impossibly wrong to take a Tom Brady who had just joined a new team with no OTAs, no preseason games, all new teammates, all new coaching staff, all new Bruce Arians offense, and all of a sudden you have to play your division arch rival, the team that is picked to win your division, on the road in your opening game with no game reps with any of these guys? Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's out. That's just wrong.
That's what they did to Peyton Manning, his first game in Denver. Who did he play, Skip? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Is that it? Are the Steelers any good with Big Ben?
Did they have preseason games that year?
Yes.
Yeah. Did they get to practice in OTAs?
Look at Peyton. Peyton missed the whole year. Missed the whole year. Had neck fusion surgery.
And what happened? Did they go win the Super Bowl?
No, they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
That was the division they got beat by Baltimore.
So, as Bruce Arians said yesterday, we are light years better than we were in our opener at New Orleans. And I believe that, light years better, because all I know about the opener was Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions. One was to Mike Evans over the middle on an option route where Mike Evans just stopped. And Brady just had to hope that they were on enough of a wavelength with no practice games at all, that he threw it where he thought Mike was going to go, and Mike stopped. And it was the easiest interception you will ever see. Then he throws a pick six intended for one Justin Watson, and that he also was the intended target on his second pick six the next game. And what has happened to Justin Watson? Well, he's fallen completely out of the rotation, and I will be surprised if he gets another target the rest of the year.
So you blaming Justin Watson for that?
Okay, I'm just saying it was a brand new play that he had never run in his life. I've never seen that play before, but maybe I'm not familiar enough with Bruce Arians' offense. But it's a middle screen with 2 quick options on speed outs to either side. And if you don't see what you need to see on the middle screen, you have to pick a side instantly, and I'm going to go here or here. And it's literally like a 2-yard pass. And he picked Jackrabbit's side, which is a bad idea because Janoris Jenkins is the all-time cluer, and he jumped it because he just sniffed it and smelled it, and he took it to the house. Okay, do you see that play run anymore? No, they threw it out.
Good.
Because the first 2 times he tried it, he had never run that play before because they didn't have that play in New England. And it cost him 2 pick sixes.
Because most teams run screens, you have the wide receivers release outside to turn the corners and run off.
Thank you. So I don't know where this play came from, but they ran it twice, and now it's run out of the rotation. Okay, so my point is, they're just now figuring out how to play together. Now they're going to add Antonio Brown. At least Brady has a little rapport with him from the, 10 days they were together in New England. And I hope that Chris Godwin will be back from a broken finger. They say there's a chance he will play. Well, all of a sudden you're upgrading, and you're just pure experience together. You're way better, and now you're at home, and you got a shot. But the only reason they're on the brink of being swept is the schedule makers did this to them.
Well, the reason why they didn't get swept is that the NFL, when they reconfigured the league, they put them with the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. So that's one of the reasons why they didn't get swept. They put them in that crappy division, and you know it, Skip. You know for the last 20 years, the AFC East has been the worst division in football. You know that.
All I know for sure is you will never, ever give Tom Brady an ounce of credit for anything.
Skip, I'm giving him credit. But you can't get no credit for beating the Bills. Skip, really? The Bills? The Bills.
Well, how about
one winning season in 20 years.
How do you not get swept by Rex's defenses in either 2009 or 10?
If you had a competent quarterback, they probably would have beat them up 4 out of 5 times.
They got to the AFC Championship game and had a chance.
I mean, Skip.
At Indy and against Pittsburgh.
A man takes a snap. He runs the ball, sticks his face in his own offensive lineman butt and fumble. And you say that's the guy that should beat Tom Brady twice in one season.
Well, he only beat him in a playoff game in Foxborough. Is that good?
Skip, there a lot, Skip. Brian Greasy has never lost to Tom Brady in a game. Jake Plummer beat Tom Brady in a playoff game. He's been beaten one time, Skip, anything. That's why we love football. It's because on a given Sunday or given Monday, anybody can be beat. But if you think you're going to beat that guy there with just average quarterback play consistently, that's not going to happen.
Well, all I know is it's not going to happen this year either because he's going to win on Sunday night and he will not get swept.
And what happens, Skip? I mean, look at what the AFC's tried to do. They went out and got Tua. They went out and got, they drafted Josh Allen. They went and got the kid from USC, Darnold. At least they say we got to have something competent.
Okay, and Tom chose one of the toughest divisions in football, right?
Yes.
He said, "I want a piece of Drew Brees."
He already called an L. Something that he never did opening day. How many times Tom Brady lost on opening day? Buffalo beat him one time last time I can remember. You remember when they traded Lloyd Malloy right before the season started?
How many times do you go to a brand new team on opening day and have to play on the road
Here to
against
go.
the arch rival?
You ain't say that about Brian. When Brian went to a new team, he lost. Oh, Brian, you got to do that. He to go, right? Tom Brady go, right?
Nobody cares about that.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.